In my recent Epic Only live arena video, there was a champion who I neglected. That was Fenax. Now, Fenax, the reason why he's so special is because he hard counters one of the champions I was having a very difficult time with, and that is Sun Wukong. His A1 ability can place a block revive. His A1 ability also hits very daggone hard. Check out this multipliers from his A1. His A1 has a 4.1 attack multiplier. That is just from that first hit. He has 2 hits potentially. If they have any debuffs on him, he'll place an extra hit, doing tons of damage. His A2 and his A3 skill also do some pretty good damage. Let me re-pull up the multipliers there. But that's typically not the thing you're going to be using. You're typically going to be relying on that A1 ability to place that block revive. His A2, average, A3 has a legendary breakdown. So with his build right now, I don't have him in Stone Skin. Though I do think it's worth putting him in Stone Skin, and you definitely should if you can. But I'm not going to run him in that right now. My goal with him is just to basically get the teams going, get him to take a turn, and then be good to go. I'm going to be running speed teams, so him not in Stone Skin is not a huge deal. But if the enemy was to go first, well, he's going to be in a rough situation. We have the talent on him. The best thing is going to be Cat's Gaze. If you could get Cat's Gaze on him, that's going to be awesome. I am actually going to try out, instead of Crushing Rend, if I can swap Blessings. I think I want to go, I didn't want to spend gems for this, but I'm sure you guys are going to like this video, subscribe to the channel, all kind of good stuff. I want to know, does the bonus damage also place block revive? I would assume that it probably doesn't. But champions like Inithwi, if the enemy is killed by the Soul Reap from the Soul Reap blessing, the champion will still be block revived. But there are other champions who their passives don't actually work, or like the block revive effect doesn't actually work. If it's killed by Soul Reap, obviously Fenax can't have Soul Reap, but he can have Phantom Touch, which against champions like Nice, though he is weak affinity, could be really good. So we'll give it a shot. A little extra damage chunk there. He's not at a 6-star blessing. The Heavencast blessing is actually probably the best for him until you get 6-star Crushing Rend. 6-star Crushing Rend isn't going to be great in PvP content because your max level is level 60, but in PvE content, it's very good. He does tons of damage there. Now, what we're going to run here is we're going to run Sulfurion for the burn to strip their Stone Skin, but most importantly, place that debuff so I can get the double hit. Now, with that said, the Herbaeus in here first. This isn't anything in this team more special than an Arbiter. Yeah, we're going to have Carnage in here, so it's going to be, you know, a little bit of extra accuracy for him. But as far as what she's doing, this is just a speed team. We have Shuzin to give me an instant turn, though I'll probably be using her A3 skill. We're going to ban the Armon, so I'm going to try to not use crazy mythicals, though, I mean, we do have the mythicals. Carnage is a free mythical, but I'm going to try to keep it scaled down and really just showcasing Fenax and not showcasing my other champions. Carnage is here if I'm able to place any of his debuffs for Fenax to get extra hits, basically. So we're not going to instant turn Fenax. We're just going to do this. I'm going to try to block stuff on the Arbiter. May just kill her. Did kill her. But here, let's see. Double hit. Boom, boom. I mean, 140,000 plus damage on that champion. Here we go again. Sir Nick, 85,000. Didn't even get to go for the second one. Was there a block revive placed? I don't think there was just now. Which means I'm fairly sure that his Phantom Touch proc happened. And if that's the case, and it didn't block revive, but that extra damage is what killed him, that is absolutely a no-go. He does hit hard. He does hit very hard. If I can get a match with Shuzin plus Fenax, Sulfurion, Shuzin, all this kind of good stuff, then I'll actually be able to showcase him being boosted again and just have him doing some really good just wipes. So he'll be able to wipe the first target, boom, go into the second one, wipe them. If we can get a Wukong in here, if we get even a Marichka, all this kind of stuff, you'll really be able to see how good he can do against these enemy teams that you unfortunately did not get to see in my previous video. Now we'll go ahead and throw in these two. Go ahead and let him know that I'm going to go for the speed race. Maybe he decides to go for it. Maybe he decides not to. But we do have plenty of speed boosters. We have 3 speed auras, which is not necessary. But 30% is secured. 30% plus. And then we'll go Fenax. Armons is my least favorite champion. We'll get rid of him. And then hopefully he sticks it out. Okay, cool. We got Carnage banned. That's perfect. So the plan here is going to be Not do the turn meter thing I was thinking about doing, unfortunately. So, because Marius is going to counterattack, and I don't have Stone Skin on my champion, unfortunately. What I have to do is I gotta hope I can just boost. Let's see. Actually, can he just kill somebody with this hit right here? Let's see. There we go. 97,000. All right, well, he's doing plenty of damage just with that skill. Pretty sweet stuff there. Obviously, they're going to get some boosts. They're going to get the cleanse. We should get a turn back with the Herbaeus. Maybe lock out the Marius. Just kidding. We'll strip them. He'll strip me as well. He'll go his A3 into his A2. But he could get petrified. Actually, a pretty decent chance of that happening. Okay. We actually didn't die, which is huge. I will go ahead and do the turn meter manipulation thing here. We'll go for a hit there because Marius can't counterattack, obviously, when he's petrified. We have buffs on both these champions. Let's go ahead and blast the Arbiter. Boom. Block revived. Done. I could switch forms. There's no reason not to, honestly. Let's go ahead and do this form swap here. Could actually kill the Marius. Would probably have been the best idea. Well, definitely would have been the best idea. Because he literally has that stuff on him. She can't res anybody. Remember, they're all block revived. I forgot about that, actually. I was thinking she could res. So killing the Marius definitely would have been the best idea. Put a block revive on him. Fenax goes in. Boom. 50,000. Does not block revive him, though. Let's make sure that was the case. So if that is the case, which I'm pretty sure that's what was happening, I didn't see block revive pop up. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and swap him off of this blessing. Like I said, Heaven Cast is probably the best, but we're going to spend 300 gems switching it back. So do not use Phantom Touch on your Fenax. I was thinking it was going to be a good idea, but 2 times in a row, well, 2 times happened where it did not block the revive because the Phantom Touch procced. To kill champions, that could be a good idea. But to block revive, it's not working that way. I'm going to put him in Crushing Rin because if I ever get a 6-star blessing for him, we'll just have him easy into Crushing Rin, no problem. So that's going to be good. But Heaven Cast would definitely be the best for like these fights. To be honest, I will be surprised if we come across somebody he's not one-shotting, to be fair. Which, with that said, may make sense that you don't actually need to have, well, you may want to run an AoE champion instead. Because he's doing plenty of single target damage. If you run an AoE damage dealer, then you don't have to worry about them coming back and killing you when you have all your squishy champions not really able to survive. So in my situation, maybe it'd be a Siegfried, a Nishak, but maybe for you it's a Michinaki, Hefrak, possibly a Trunda. Maybe you have a mythical champion with some good AoE stuff there. Maybe you run a Nice. Who knows? Who knows what you have? We have, okay, Harima. This is actually a great example of how he'll do against Harima, a champion who's very, very difficult for a lot of players to deal with. Unfortunately, we don't have the... I need to start getting rid of the Mariuses. I keep forgetting that I don't have the Stone Skin stuff. So having the Marius just running around... I don't have Stone Skin on Fenax. So the Marius running around is pretty bad for me, actually. Especially with all those buffs on him. So what we'll do here... All right, so I wanna strip him. If I did this, he's just getting nuked down by Marius, basically. But could I just blast the Marius instead? Let's see. 51,000. I mean, wasn't very good damage, unfortunately. Well, if he had 2 hits, it would have been good damage. If we had a Cat's Gaze, it would have been good damage. But in that situation, it wasn't. I have to realize I'm going to win the speed races. I need to ban the Mariuses from now on. I'm going to likely edit out the good fights and the bad fights, so just hopefully showcase good stuff from Fenax. With the champion, you're going to want increased attack with your nukers, which is something else I did in my last video I did not include, was increased attack. I forgot about Seeker, so I couldn't really fit it in without having him. It was difficult, but with him, it's not going to be nearly as bad. Here, we're going to try to keep the champion picks kind of reasonable. I may throw in Shuzin, Herbaeus, and I don't know. I want to make sure we go first because it's going to be important, especially with having him not in Stone Skin. But I also don't want the opponent to be way outpicked as far as champions. Okay, but he actually has a mythical Carnage. Sweet. So maybe we're not too bad off. If we get some other good champions here, I'd love to see that. Be cool to see Fenax against some really powerful things. But ultimately, if you are somebody struggling with Wukongs in the arena, Fenax is your champion to go for. He will be an excellent, excellent option for you. Somebody who I just neglected completely in my epic only push, which I plan to do some more of those maybe. I do need to wait for some free gear removal events though, because silver is atrocious in this game. All right, so we're going to go, not Fenax just yet. Let's go, I don't want to go anybody too crazy here. Let's go Alika. So we're going to go, I guess, maybe 2 epic damage dealers, but this may cause Fenax to get, no, there's no way they ban Fenax over these other 3 champions, right? This wouldn't make sense. We'll try to keep it scaled down a little bit, though. All right, so they got Marius. That's who I've got to get rid of. Boom. Done. He's out of here. I can't do the turn meter decrease if he's here. I do have a strip and some stuff I can manipulate if he's gone. But if he's here, there's no chance. If I can just go in there and kill the Carnage, that's going to be amazing. There's ways to run him and go second as well. It's just obviously coming with the big issue of, well, you got to keep him alive. And he doesn't have the ability to have Lightning Cage on him, which makes him automatically much more difficult to keep alive than a legendary champion. Lightning Cage obviously is the only legendary blessing, so that is something to consider. Now here, we're going to open with the A3, I think, and then go with Sulfurion's Burn to bust any of the stone skins. Hopefully, Alika is going to be... Shuzin has really powerful speed turn meter manipulation, so she can speed tune champions way outside of her speed range. He does have a 6-star intimidating presence, though, so I'm kind of surprised. Not sure why he went that when Odin has a 40% aura. Maybe he was mistaken or something. All right. This may kill everybody. It doesn't. Sweet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go for a kill on Carnage. Boom. 62,000 damage right off the bat there. Maybe I should have killed Siphi because she's just going to sleep my shoes in. Okay, let's see, we get a turn here. And then we'll just go, boom. Block Revive on the Siphi. 71,000 damage. So obviously, Fenax dropping some bombs. I mean, Alika does too, but it's not Block Revive. A little bit different. Alika, a monster of an epic champion. Very strong. Let's try it again, guys. And we'll try out some of his AoE stuff, though. Let's give it a shot against this guy. We'll try his AoE stuff. Does it pack enough damage to actually get a kill? So what we'll do here, once again, same thing. Air Bay is going for all this stuff. Maybe even throw in a ally attack champion. What kind of speeds do I have in my ally attack champs? The issue, though, is that some of my champs may hit too hard. The ally attack champs may just kill the enemy. So Cardiel, 260. Mikage is 272. So they're right around where Fenax is already at. But if we can get them over there, that could be cool. We're not going to try it just yet. We'll throw in the Sulfurion for now. Ally attack is good to run with Fenax, but you have to have it kind of built into your team strategy already. I will see how we can do with an A2. If we had champions with counterattacks, that could be good. AoE counterattacks, like an Alaz or something. So against this team, we have interesting setup. We have Marichka there. Maybe even throwing an Iyasu. I haven't used him yet. He is a single target champion, but not really. I mean, Iyasu, he's 240 speed right now, so a little bit slow. We'll go ahead and get rid of the Hefrak. Could be a very annoying champion. Marichka's gonna mess with my burns. Let's get rid of her. Okay, well, there's no burns to even have messed with, but we will strip them. Actually, I don't know why I got rid of her, because I literally had the whole block revive thing done with Iyasu, so I didn't even need to get rid of her. But that's what I did, so it is what it is. So here, I guess what we're doing is stripping with Airbase any of the stone skins. They have no lightning cage, so it's just the 50% strip rate that stone skin has. We'll decrease speed. We'll have the double buffs. We'll have to drop the Hefrak first. Of course, they're all in stone skin. We stripped all the stone skin. We do this. Okay, let's actually go for the A2 here. Said I wanted to try it, see what kind of damage it does. It did just enough to get him to proc his ability, which is not really what I was looking for, to be honest. So now, we're in a bit of a peculiar situation. It didn't hit that hard. Like I said, it did just enough to have me back around to use my skills. So his A2 is not really what I would be relying on. Granted, they didn't have decreased defense, nothing like that on any of their champions. So it did just enough to kill the Odin, which was okay, but it didn't kill anybody else. They had no decreased defense. So I realized that I did not use Fenax with increased attack in that arena showcase. His A2 ability, we already saw the multipliers for it. It's not bad. We're going to try using everybody's A1. Let's use Fenax's A2. Everybody we dealt, let's see. I don't think we had Helm Smasher proc, 316,000 damage. Let's go again to see what happens here. Watch for Helm Smasher. It's all Void Affinity. We did proc Helm Smasher, it seems. That was 455. I'm surprised it wasn't more damage than that, honestly. There was Helm Smasher procs there. So no increased attack, 327. We're landing about 327 range with or without Helm Smasher procs, it seems, 300,000-ish. He's ignoring a lot of defense because of Crushing Rin, so it may not even be changing anything, honestly. He's doing 442. So basically we got an extra about 50. I tested it earlier, about 75% damage boost from having increased attack versus not. So the damage that I dealt to the Odin in that fight would have been more, and if we got non-weak hits versus those Magic Affinity champions, we probably would have killed them. That's the difference between having the increased attack and not having the increased attack. Of course, if you're going to be nuking, you want to make sure to have that increased attack up. So now let's jump back into the live arena fights. Right here, we're going to see if we can get a pretty decent setup for Fenax and how much damage he deals. The biggest thing that I've noticed is the need for an AoE damage dealer with Fenax, because if you don't have an AoE damage dealer, or at least an AoE threat like a lockout, Alika's really been good. And Alika is solid. Obviously, if you have a Nishak or some bombs, something else, because Fenax as a sole damage dealer isn't doing great. Of course, as you can imagine, it's just an A1 lockout or A1 block revive. It's going to be fairly short-lived. He's gonna be fairly short-lived. He's not gonna survive very long, and the players you can go against are gonna be fairly limited as well. We have time for a few more fights. Hopefully, we've gotten some good showcases of Fenax through this video on how you might be able to use him if you decide to use him as a nuker. But there's obvious downsides to him, where it's okay. His A2 doesn't do a ton of damage. It's okay, but it's not really that much. Okay, cool. We have a Sun Wukong here. Let's go for an Alika. No, because she's Force Affinity. Let's not do that. Let's go for a... honestly, I just really want to get a crazy, insane champion in here that he's going to ban. But with Fenax, okay, one, you don't want to use his A2 very much because it doesn't do that much damage. It's okay, but it's going to be very poor if you're trying to wipe teams, especially if you're not running decreased defense. His Phantom Touch does not work on him, not to block the revive from that A1 skill. What's the other thing? And if you're going to run him against a Marius, make sure he's in Stone Skin if you plan to decrease any of the enemy's turn meter, which, dang, what, are you kidding me? That's the champion you found to be the most scary is Fenax? Well, apparently, guys, if you have a bunch of OP champions, they're going to ban your Fenax against Sun Wukong. So plan to use your other champs versus Sun Wukong, and you're going to be safe. So we're going to let this match play out just because I think it's really kind of very, very bizarre that he didn't ban the Taras, who will just one-shot the entire team. All right, well, I don't know about that one. So there we go. Fenax OP better than Taras? I don't know. I guess that's what some people think. So Fear Gun, unfortunately, is not getting through, and having that debuffer is very important. Now, your team may look something like, I don't know, Deacon plus Seeker plus Madame Saris and Fenax. Now, that team is going to really struggle with, longevity because you only got a single target champion. You're going to die pretty soon. So maybe instead you want to have like a Deacon plus Seeker and then a Skull Crown and Fenax. So then you can have Fenax block revive and Skull Crown killing people. Maybe that's what you want to run instead. So in this team, we have the Marius stuff. Basically, really need to get rid of him. I could go Necrit. Not really going to go Necrit, though. We're going to go here. Okay, Alika. Let's throw in the Alika. See how she does. There's only one Magic Affinity champion here, which is Armon's, of course. So I can lock out the Marius. That'll be fine. We'll give Fenax another chance to do something good here. The chance to shine. Okay, well, the Rotos, this stuff's not good. The Torment, I really don't like that. So he just shuts me down. I don't have enough champions in Stoneskin. Matter of fact, why? Did they just know that I'm doing a Fenax showcase video? They're like, yeah, let's go ahead and get Fenax banned. Apparently, people don't respect Alika. Maybe I need to do an Alika video. Just all Alika fights. Just Alika in every battle. You guys let me know down below if you'd want to see an Alika in every fight. If so, I'll definitely do it. But yeah, she's definitely not getting any respect. That's for sure. Definitely no respect. She deserves respect, though. They're all locked out now. Aha, Rose, just use that A1, buddy. Use that A1. He's like, what in the world happened? All right, I guess that's a little bit of a sneak peek into the future video. You guys let me know what you think about this one today. Alika's build is not even that crazy, to be honest. She's not even got Savage gear on. She has good accuracy, good stats. She's a 340 speed. I didn't realize she was that fast, but that makes sense why she's staying speed tuned. So solid champion here, even with the no defense ignore. She's hitting hard from that A3. So maybe she will be in a future video. But today was focused on Fenax, who is good for countering Sun Wukong. Very good for countering Sun Wukong. But he has his obvious weaknesses. Like I said, Phantom Touch, don't use it. The Spirit Affinity stuff, Magic Affinity is dominating Arena. So you can't just use him as your main damage dealer pick. He's very much a niche champion pick. Going against Marius, you want to make sure that you have him in Stoneskin, or else any turn meter manipulation calls a counterattack, give him Enfeeble, and then he's going to be in a very bad spot. You want to make sure you have a debuff champion before him, ideally a Stoneskin strip champion if you're doing a go first team. If you're doing a go second team with Fenax, it's going to be tough because you don't have the ability to run Lightning Cage. So Stoneskin's going to be a 50-50 strip. Maybe it goes off, maybe it doesn't, and he's going to be pretty squishy once it falls off. So with sustained fights, he doesn't bring much damage with his AoE skill, unfortunately. So you're really left to just using this A1. Even with these stats, this A2 just wasn't hitting that hard. So the A1 is incredible. His A2, not as much. And unless you have a bunch of revive champions, you're probably not going to get a very long fight from him. But he can also end a fight pretty quickly by just taking out their damage dealer, and they only have supports. So there's some pros and cons to this champion. Overall, I think Fenax is an awesome champion in the right situation, the right niche uses. Not a overall just instant pick, but if you're using him in PvE and he's built very strong, well, maybe you can throw him into the PvP content as well. His A2 and A3 have much more use in PvE than it does in PvP. I mean, this AoE block buffs is great, and decreased speed and decreased defense is very strong as well. So guys, let me know if you like that. Let me know if you'd like to see a video on Alika, who I think is a very good champion for a lot of players in Live Arena. And if you do, I'll do a video on this. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one.